Welcome. In our next particular unit, we're going to be looking at albinism, which is a skin condition, hair condition, eye condition, um, resulting in changed appearance in skin color, hair color, etc., due to a combination of different factors. To start with, we have to kind of identify the terms genotype and phenotype, as these both kind of play a role in albinism. Phenotype, which the PH kind of makes an F sound, that refers to a physical trait that an individual may have. So, for example, if you have black hair, the color black would be your phenotype for hair color. But what we need to understand is what actually contributes to our phenotype. This ties back to the karyotype image that we looked at a short while ago. Let's pull one up on my screen. Let's talk about karyotypes really quick. This image on the screen right here is once again a karyotype. It shows all the combinations, all the chromosomes that an individual has in every single cell of the body. Keep in mind, for humans, it is normal for us to have a total of 46 chromosomes. 22 are autosomes. The last pair is sex chromosomes. In this case, we happen to be looking at a male. Also recall that the chromosomes are arranged on a karyotype going from longest to shortest. And each pair of chromosomes is homologous, meaning that for each chromosome we got from mom, we have a matching one that comes from dad. This does tie back to phenotype. We talked about black hair a short while ago. Keep in mind that this striping pattern kind of denotes the location of genes within our chromosomes. Let's just pretend for the sake of it that this black gene right here and this black gene right here, let's suppose those genes code for hair color. This one might code for blonde hair, but this gene might code for black hair. They both code for the same trait, hair color, but they can be different variations of it. Blonde hair versus black hair, it is different. Whatever combination of genes that we have, one for blonde, one for black, that makes up what we know as the genotype. The genotype, that is the combination of genes that you have, and you haven't inherited those from your parents. We see that we get, once again, we have 2 chromosomes, and we got one from each parent, meaning we got one of each of these hair color genes from one from each parent. So, in essence, the combination of genes that we have, our genotype, that does directly determine what our physical trait or phenotype will be. And in an example I was using, we're looking at black hair. So we're going to be looking at a phenotype, albinism. What does it look like? As we go through, I am going to kind of underline some key points, maybe do a little annotating. Please do the same on your end. Oculocutaneous albinism is a group of conditions that affect coloring or pigmentation of the skin, hair, and eyes. Approximately 1 in 20,000 exhibit this disorder, and affected individuals typically have very fair skin and white or light-colored hair. Long-term sun exposure greatly increases the risk of skin damage and skin cancers, including an aggressive form of skin cancer called melanoma. Albinism also reduces pigmentation of the colored part of the eye, known as the iris, and the light-sensitive tissue at the back of the eye, called the retina. People with this condition usually have vision problems, such as reduced sharpness, rapid involuntary eye movements, and increased sensitivity to light. Melanin is an extremely important molecule in humans for many reasons. One being its ability to protect the DNA in the cell's nucleus from damage by UV light from the sun. This is one reason the skin darkens after being exposed to sunlight, and people living closer to the equator have darker skin for this extended protection. Moving along. Albinism is not only seen in humans, is actually found across all major animal groups since nearly all produce melanin. So it's found in all animal groups because all produce melanin. So that it kind of explains why some different animals also can be albino. It has been observed in countless species of mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, fish, even invertebrates. This is not surprising since the gene for melanin production, the protein responsible for producing pigment in the skin, hair, and eyes, is similar among these species. All it takes is one small change to result in a change in this protein shape to make it non-functional. So one small change and the protein that creates melanin can become non-functional. Before we go forth, I do want to just make a clarification. We all have melanin. People who are darker skinned have more melanin than people who are lighter skinned. So when we look at albino, like this individual here, this person has no melanin at all, whereas these two have significantly more melanin than this boy. Moving along. In humans, the 4 types of oculocutaneous albinism are designated as type 1, which is abbreviated as OCA1, OCA for oculocutaneous albinism, through type 4, OCA4. Oculocutaneous albinism type 1 is characterized by white hair, very pale skin, and light-colored irises. Recall that's part of our eye. Type 2 is typically less severe than type 1. Type 2, the skin is usually creamy white color, and the hair might be light yellow, blonde, or light brown. Type 3 includes a form of albinism called rufous oculocutaneous albinism, which usually affects dark-skinned people. Affected individuals have reddish-brown skin, ginger or red hair, and hazel or brown irises. Type 3 is often associated with milder vision abnormalities than the other forms of oculocutaneous albinism. Type 4 has signs and symptoms similar to those with type 2. Because their features overlap, the 4 types of oculocutaneous albinism are most accurately distinguished by their genetic cause, and we'll leave it there. So this section, once again, we were looking at phenotype and what causes albinism to occur. We know that is the amount of melanin present, and the amount of melanin present is the result of specific genes functioning or not, just kind of dependent. Genotype, once again, the combination of genes that we have from our 2 parents. The 4 types of oculocutaneous albinism each result from mutations in single genes. The names of these single genes are TYR, OCA2, TYRP1, or SLC45A2. These are 4 different genes within our DNA. Changes in the TYR gene can cause type 1. Mutations in OCA2 are responsible for type 2. TYRP1 can cause type 3 to occur, and changes in SLC45A2 can result in type 4. So it looks like the 4 different types of albinism can occur depending on which gene is causing it. These genes are involved in producing the pigment melanin. In the retina, melanin also plays a role in normal vision. Mutations in any of these genes disrupt the ability of the cells to make melanin, which reduces pigmentation in the skin, hair, and eyes. Turning the page, we'll pick up with the last little bit of reading right up at the top here. Alterations or changes in the MC1R gene can change the appearance of people with oculocutaneous albinism type 2. This gene helps regulate melanin production and is responsible for some normal variation in pigmentation. people with genetic changes in both the OCA2 and MC1R genes have many of the usual features of oculocutaneous albinism type 2, including light-colored eyes and vision problems. However, they typically have red hair instead of the usual yellow, blonde, or light brown hair seen with this condition. Based on what we have just read through, we looked at 4 different types of albinism. We have this chart to kind of complete based on it. Let's do the first one together, and then we'll kind of allow you to kind of complete 2 through 4 individually. So for OCA1, we're going to be looking for the skin color, hair color, eye color. Does it affect certain people or can it affect anyone? And what is the gene that's affecting it, causing this albinism? I'm going to go through with a highlighter really quick and just kind of relocate OCA1 to expedite my process. Let's see, we got OCA type 1 right here, so it's characterized by white hair, very pale skin, light colored irises. Skimming, see if we have anything else for OCA1. It's talking about 2, 3, and 4. See, looks like OCA type 3 only affects dark-skinned people. Moving down to the bottom, we have 4 different genes. It looks like changes in the TYR gene can cause type 1. So I think we have all the information in here related to type 1. Let's go ahead and fill in our chart. So it looks like type 1, white hair, very pale skin, light colored irises. Hair color was white. Skin color was very pale, I believe. Yeah, very pale. Skin color, very pale. Eye color, looks like eye color was light colored irises. So eye color, light colored. Didn't affect certain people. It can affect anybody. And the gene that was affected was, looks like the TYR gene. Gene affected, TYR. Take a moment, complete the rest of this chart, and then answer the questions at the end of this video.